So kettlebell wader walks are a fantastic exercise for training shoulder stability above 90 degrees. It's good for what's called the serratus anterior muscle. The serratus anterior is responsible for stabilizing the scapula overhead. Super important for pitchers. You've probably done some form of wader walk in a post-throwing arm carry routine already. Now this is fine, but how do you progress it? Now a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll go from a 20-pound kettlebell and suddenly they're doing 25, 30, they're trying 35-pound kettlebells. At some point it gets a little bit unwieldy and it becomes more of the anterior delt that's taking on that load and you stop feeling it in the serratus as much. One way to work on that is actually to take a 10-pound plate and put it on bands. And so now we're able to progress the instability portion of the exercise as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap the band through a 10-pound plate. We're gonna hold it just like so. And from here, you're progressing more of the instability component than just the weight component. So I've got an 18-pound kettlebell here, a 10-pound plate, and just walking with this, much more difficult than just going up to a 28-pound dumbbell or a 28-pound kettlebell. The other piece here is that if you don't have kettlebells, you just have dumbbells, you can still progress the instability with a dumbbell with a weight plate hanging from it. Another way you can do this is add a little bit of tempo to the walk. So you don't have to just walk under control, you can ultimately progress it with a little bit of a skip or a little bit more of a brisker walk. That's also gonna make it substantially harder. When you're doing this, any wader walk variation, make sure that you try to keep the elbow above 90 degrees and think about scooping the scapula up and underneath you as high as you can go. So if you can get the shoulder blades protracted out front and up above 90 degrees, that's what you want. You wanna feel the serratus muscles engage, scooping the scapula up and under, and you're gonna have to play around with the exact angle of the elbow. Typically out here, you're not gonna feel it as much. If you get way too far in front of your body, you're gonna feel more in the anterior delt. So there's usually a sweet spot right in that scapular plane above 90 degrees. And again, progressing it more from the instability with the bands versus necessarily going more and more load from the kettlebell, from the dumbbell.